and welcome back to Pink Dino Livestream with SimCity. We're here today, imaginatively titled Part 2. Idea of the game is we're setting up some satellite cities, all with the same build. The aim of getting $1 million and all of the infrastructure in place, which is going to be very good later on when we decide what our specialisations are going to be in the aim of creating our Great Works. I don't know much about Great Works. I was even calling them Masterworks in the previous episode, so yeah, sorry about that. Great Works, so we could go for an Arcology, we could go for an international airport. We don't really know what to go for yet, so we're going to set up all of our specialisations in each city. I've got 3 or 4 of these built at the moment, all using the same build, all sitting on $1 million, ready to rock and roll for when we decide what we're going to do end game. So, tail end of the episode last time, we did forget to put our garbage dump, which is going to be a bit of a problem. There'll be some fallout from that, I can imagine, as people are going to be a little bit annoyed that all their garbage is clogging up the streets. But never mind, it's probably only going to be a slight setback. We've got enough now to clear our bonds, which is good, and we just need to get our high density roads in place, which we're going to do now, and then we'll get everyone in, get some growth, make sure all of these people are happy, and as soon as that's happening we can set the taxes up and get ourselves 1 million simoleons in just 1 hour of gameplay, and hopefully that's what's going to happen today. So thanks for returning. And let's see how this goes. So we've got our basic emergency services in place. This is going to be to support these sims as we're taxing them. This isn't the final city layout. This is just our basic layouts to get all the basic infrastructure into place. Nice amount of population. We're going to aim for about 30,000 people to be in the city, comfortable, being educated, so they're not setting the city on fire. There's going to be the emergency services there to take care of them, and bus services in place so they can get around. As soon as we're all up to 30-odd thousand people, we're going to whack the taxes up. They're not going to know what's hit them. We only need to do that for about 10 to 12 game hours, hopefully, and that'll top us over 1 million. While we're doing that, we'll have a look and see what resources are available here. We've obviously got the ocean up in the top corner here, so seaports are good. If we're going for tourism, we can build a seaport to get the high wealth tourists in. We've got quite a lot of space. There's no hills, there's no annoying valleys or nooks and crannies. It's all perfectly flat, which is good. So I think that's all the high density roads in place. Yeah, we're always going to miss 1 or 2. There we go. So that's good. So making £6 an hour at the moment. We really want to lower the taxes. We don't really need to buy anything else. We just want to lower these taxes and get people in. Check our wealth layout. So we could do some more parks around here to connect these high wealth areas in play. As I say, I've got 2 or 3 other cities in play at the moment, so we have got all of our modules unlocked for the city hall. My favourite module, especially when you're building high wealth areas, are these balloon parks. I think they're awesome. So we're going to put one of those there. And the amphitheatre. So it still hasn't connected it up fully. So we'll go for a couple more parks once we get some simoleons in play. And we'll also put some plazas in for the commercial areas. As you go for your formal parks for our residential area, and then the plazas will benefit from some of these super duper ones here. Again, you can see how that just spreads the area. So we'll get one more of these plazas in. go. We could do with a couple more parks up in the top corner here, just to connect these guys up together. And as I said numerous times, you know, this isn't the final layout of the city by any stretch of the imagination. We've just got very basic infrastructure in place, all your basic hospitals with a couple of modules, police, fire service. So when we are going for this heavy taxing, which we're going to go for, the Sims aren't going to be dropping like flies from fire and theft and all the other things which seem to go wrong as they go about their daily business. So we're going to be surfing the red line here, trying to keep it the taxes as low as possible. We really want to get as many people in as possible, cram them in, get the density going. So you can see the buildings are getting higher here. Most of these buildings are mansions. I've realised that this city's very cheap to live in, and it has got all the services in play. So we've got some complaints from school. Classrooms are full. Well, let's see what we can do about that. We haven't got a lot of money. We can throw some money at the schools though, because that is going to raise the land value and the happiness of the Sims around us. So this is what we like to see. Lots of growth. Buses seem to be missing people. It's probably because they're overstretched. Yeah, we need to put a another module on the bus stop. So I said before, the buses are really important, just not for getting the Sims from one end to the other. The 6 Sims need to get to the hospital themselves. They don't get picked up by the hospital. The hospital only picks up injured people. So for these Sims that are on the outskirts, on the fringes, when they get sick, they need to get into this hospital area themselves. So that's why we need a very efficient bus service. And the focus really has been on travel, making sure that these roads work well. There's a little bit of congestion. This entrance isn't the best in the world. We could definitely do with sorting that out at a later date. And only having one entrance into the city is always going to be a problem. You sometimes when you get into the mid to late game, you'll have a queue right the way up the intersection. And as soon as that happens, you know it's time for a redesign. And having all of your major buildings on your main roads, that can be expensive, so that's why we've decided to plop anything that we're going to be keeping just on the outskirts here, because it means we're not going to have to destroy them or delete them later on in the game. So we'll get another shuttle bus in here. 3's a good number to have. And we're also going to expand that school, just to make sure that these people are happy. The happier they are, the quicker they're going to build. Make sure we've got a flag. Flags are the most important part of the game, guys. Please remember that. Got to have flags. Right, so that's all looking good. I did actually see yesterday, whilst reviewing this video, that I'd forgotten to put a school bus stop outside of a school, which is always helpful, and also a hospital, because I'm talking so much about these buses being so critical, and we always find these things as we go along, so that's good. So we can see here with 7,000 population, it's growing slowly. Just check our land value and our happiness. So look at that, yeah, everyone's happy. Moderate happiness on the outside. These guys on the fringes are always going to be slightly less happy. So check our land value. If we can click the right icon, there we go. So I believe it's just a waiting game now. We can put some parks on the perimeter here, which might help things out. Majority of these are all temporary. They will be destroyed, deleted once we find out what our specialisation is going to be. The only things we'll probably be keeping are going to be the town hall, the garbage dump, and the bus depot. And I reckon this solar power plant is going to need some help as well. Just need a little bit more money for that. There we go, that's perfect. So the main aim of this is to get enough money to get the mid to late game infrastructure in place. With this I mean the sewage and the water treatments. These are very expensive, 64,000 simoleons for the sewage treatments and 44 for the water. But with the water, as soon as that's plopped, we need to spend another 60,000 because we'll be destroying the actual water tower and replacing it with a filtration unit, because it's going to be plopped right next to the sewage treatment in this area here. And these two will be working side by side. One of them will be dropping all the water into the ground, and the other one will be sucking up and filtering all the water to go back out into the industry. So we'll probably be deleting this small corner here, and I'm going to just check quickly to see what is available in this region, because the last thing we want to do is to plop our sewage on some valuable resources. Well, I think this is going to be our ore zone, because that's quite nice. So with the ore, we'll be able to refine that into microchips, and I know microchips are very important for the Great Works. So this is probably going to be our ore hub. We do have a nice amount of water here, so we can put a trading port, which will help. So we've got a tiny splotch of oil up here, which may be worth going for, and we've also got some coal down here as well. So this is the reason we're not plopping any of our major buildings in the centre here, because this whole area is going to get industrialised. So I can imagine extending this main road straight through the middle. So where these two roads are parallel, we can turn that into one massive intersection, which will go up to the top of the screen. We'll leave that completely clear apart from supply chain. So we'll put trade depots on here, which will help us with the flow of trade in and out of the city. So yeah, that's probably the plan for this states. So we are just going to make a note of that, because as I say, we've got going to have about 8 to 12 cities, all with different resources, so it's a good idea to just make a note of what we got here. If I put the ore in capitals to make sure I know that that's our ore zone. So that's good. We've got a plan for this zone later on. And also we did notice that this corner here was completely devoid of resources. So we can extend this road over a little bit, put our sewage and water treatments into place over here, and keep those for the mid to end game, which is great. So that's exciting stuff. So how are we doing? About 7,000 people. Need to really get these guys in a bit quicker, so we don't really need the taxes at the moment. We don't really have to buy anything. All of our basic resources are in play. So if that doesn't get them in, I will be out on the streets with a billboard waving them in from the freeways. Come and live here. So you can see how nice and peaceful this is. There's no complaints. Got some decent education, so there's no outrageous fires going on like you get in some games early on. There's always the odd road that you miss. So yeah, happy with this, just get them packed in. So sewage and water is beginning to be a problem, so it might as well be as good a time as any to get our end game sewage and water treatments in play. So I'm going to do that now. So I'm going to do this with a bond rather than with taxes, because, as I say, we really want to get the people in. So first we're going to plop our sewage treatment plant. This bad boy is £64,000, 64,000 simoleons, 40,000 simoleons per extension that you put on. So, I'm not going to put it right on the edge. I never put anything right on the edge because you never know, it does cause some problems. 1 pixel across. So I think we've got enough to get the water in play. Just short. So take out one more small blonde. So whenever you're adjusting any of your modules, you've got a little bulldozer in the corner, and this helps you go in and actually adjust individual parts of your buildings, which is great for making small adjustments. So we're getting rid of a standard water tower, and we're putting in our 60 grand filtration pump. We'll have that at the bottom here. So that should suck all the water up that this sewage treatment plant is dropping into this area here, and we'll have an infinite supply of water. If we go nuclear, this is going to be very important, as this whole area will end up filled with water towers and sewage. Because the nuclear towers do take a heck of a lot of water to power them. Okay, so you're happy. It's now complaining because we've got 2 sewage outflow pipes, so we don't need 2. So this one's now redundant and can be destroyed. I made a mistake in one of the other cities where I'm building, where I destroyed this little sewage pump without having this one staffed, and there was a bit of a backlash of people complaining, which was going on for a good game week or 2. So always make sure your sewage treatment plant is being worked before you destroy the minor sewage outflow. So how are we doing? We've got 8,000 people. Just check our land wealth again. Again, I'd like to get these guys up into the game. So we'll put some more parks. And there we go. So how are we doing? We've got 9,000 people. We have got about 10 minutes left to go, so it's going to be close to get 1 million. I reckon there was a little bit of backlash from the people complaining about the waste, because obviously they didn't have anyone picking up their bins for the first half hour of play, which is going to rub them up the wrong way. And Sims never forgive. They do seem to moan about things game weeks after the events actually occurred. So it's okay, because we're just going to tax the hell out of them anyway. So we're at 8,000 people. It's going strong. May actually be worth putting in the churches. Churches are permanent plops, which we can get into the corners of the map, as the resources are all focused around the middle. Got a redundant water tower as well. Churches do bring a lot of happiness for Sims. Yeah, this corner's nice and clear, so we're going to plop some churches, which are under the city specialisation. Under tourism. So we're in the corner out of the way. There's nothing else that's going to be coming up into this end, except for maybe the port later on. So hopefully our port will fit into this corner here nicely. We've been advised that destroying churches is a really bad idea, so you want to be careful when you plot these, as you can cause a lot of unhappiness by destroying them. So we'll extend our road. And another pro tip is to try and avoid these corner junctions. If you can get yourself a nice curvy junction, it does take up a little bit more room, but it does mean the traffic doesn't have to stop and then brake, which does make it a lot more efficient when you're over 100,000 civilians, especially on a major road here where we're going to plan on pretty much destroying all of these middle roads here. So the way into these residential areas is going to be off little sub-roads from the main freeway, which is going to go around the outside, or motorway. So let's get a church in here. So do we have a mosque already? Yes, we've got the mosque already, so we just need our wonderful Church of Tomorrow. And finally our temple. So we'll connect these roads back up and repopulate them. It's going to make traffic a bit better. Don't like that. Okay. So once again, these are all very temporary. We're not really too focused on these little buildings and areas that are in the middle. This is all just to get it populated. It's nicely zoned. Enough simoleons to build that little road. There we go. So now you've got your churches. Do you want to replace this park down here as well? Couldn't get the school bus. You could walk, it's only up there. So again, we are getting some growth here. It's happening slowly. 9,800 people. We want 30,000, and then we ramp the taxes up to full. Should take about 10 game turns, so 10 game hours, to make 500,000. So it happens nice and quickly. As you do that, you have your bulldozer ready, because there's a lot of people moving out. As soon as that happens, obviously it starts lowering the land value, which makes people even more unhappy. So it's literally firefighting, going around destroying all the buildings as they become unpopulated, and hoping that your profits per hour don't sink any lower than 50 grand an hour, which is it's enough money to get to 1 million very quickly. So we're going to start to see some skyscrapers now. The only other problem I can see is the power. So any money that we are making from this gradual tax income is going to be spent on extending our solar arrays. We're probably going to need at least 6 of these to be able to supply a city of 30,000. So 2.5 minutes to go. I don't think we're going to get 30,000 people in the city by then, so we're close. It will be the beginning of the next episode. We'll be getting our 1 million. So some of the other cities, I've done it just before an hour. Some of it's just been after an hour. So maybe I should retitle this "Make 1 million simoleons in almost an hour." So. We still need to know what we need to do for our Great Works. I still haven't done any research on that yet. I'm going to get these basic cities in play. Once we've got our 1 million here, we'll start zoning for the specialisation. As we said, it's going to be ore and coal, maybe a little bit of drilling. We could even go for a future city here and go for our Omega Works. We'll have to think about that as we go, but we'll get all the mining in play to start with, and make sure this supply chain is absolutely drilled, so that the money is going to be flowing in and out of this city like nobody's business. We've already got our basic infrastructure in place. We're going to be moving our school. The school's right in the middle of the ore. Its hospital will be destroyed. We'll put a new hospital in play, where our eventual residential zone is going to be. Police station over here, it's nicely out of the way. We'll probably put a larger police station in exactly the same area. And the fire station here, we'll have this major freeway come round the outside, and we'll plop our new shiny all bells and whistles fire station onto the freeway, which will connect all of this industrial and commercial area up together. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. We're starting to get some skyscrapers now. I love these balloons, they're the best thing ever. The one that looks like a turtle here. It's awesome. If I could go up in a hot air balloon, it would be that shape. Definitely. Bye! Excellent stuff. So it's getting there. Probably be another 10 minutes or so, but we've come to the end of this episode now. So you got any comments, please leave them in the comment box below. Let us know what you think as far as the plan. Also, if you are interested in any particular Masterworks, Great Works, let us know. We'll be more than happy to entertain any suggestions, and hopefully we'll get ourselves 1 million next time. Within 10 minutes, I reckon it will take about 10 minutes to get these guys up to the kind of density where we can tax the hell out of them. So yeah, this is Pink Dino. Come back next time, we've still got lots of work to do, and give us a like and leave your comments below. I'm out of here.